You might be like, man, Martha, you are looking rough, in which case you would be 100% correct. I woke up this morning and like my eyes are burning, my head hurts. It's kind of just like, just feeling that. I have been working from my bed this morning. Just because it's dark. I almost didn't even do the video in here because the light is so bright that it's just like my eyes are like, no, don't let it in. It hurts. So anyway, here we go, guys. How I hit gold in 6 months. I'm going to go ahead and do this. First, I'm going to drink. This is going to help. So good. So good. For people that don't know and are like, is that wine? It's not wine. I don't even drink. That ain't wine. This is heaven. This is heaven in a bottle. I don't know if you know about that or not. But anyway, so how I hit gold in 6 months. Let me try to get my thoughts together here. So my eyes on fire, absolute fire. So, you know what? Let's pray first. Lord, thank you for bringing us together again. Thank you for calling your people in, the people that need support with life, with home-based business, with Young Living specific business. Lord, be with us as we navigate what this looks like for us, what this new world really looks like for us, right? In ways that we don't want to be skeezy and weird. We don't want to have to compromise our ethics and compromise who we are as a person to be able to make money from home that then allows us to be able to homeschool, to be able to travel, to be able to give back to the community, to be able to serve in different places, God. Like, just bring us all together, give us confidence, give us clarity, give us ambition to work out what you want us to do in our lives, God. God, we thank you, we praise you in your name, amen. Okay, so how I hit gold in 6 months. So in Young Living, when I came the first time around, it typically took 4 to 5 years to be able to hit gold. And with my systems and processes that I still teach today and still work today, that's no different. It took me 6 months. And it even surprised me because I was like, well, gosh, these aren't like, they're not earth shattering. It's being a good person, and it's really, whenever you learn it, it's very simplified stuff. I think maybe people have been making it too complicated for too long, right? And it really just needs to be simple. It needs to be easy. And so whenever I started Young Living, I was like, some of you guys know about my start story, but whenever I started, I was not starting to start a business. A friend of mine had introduced, actually this, the Ningxia to me, had introduced that to me, and I was like, what? Because I started researching it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good for our bodies. Like, from a nutrition standpoint, this is excellent, an excellent source of nutrition, and tastes good. And whenever I knew that, I was like, all right. And then I found out that literally Young Living is the only place you could get it. And I'm like, my marketing mind, my business brain was like, so what you're saying is, this is the only place on the planet that we can get this. I mean, I think I could do this. Right? And I had never been in network marketing before. I never was like, it wasn't like I was jumping companies and I was like, oh, well, grass is greener, I'm going over here. It was like, I never had done it because I had always looked at network marketing like, that's cute. That's adorable, them with their little businesses, right? Like, I just thought it was just so cute. I was the biggest snob on earth, and I'm just going to say it, right? converted, but biggest snob on earth. And whenever I looked at the compensation plan, I was like, I get it. I see how this works. All right. Yeah, I think I could do that. Yeah, I think I can do that. And so I put together a system, which the system is now in Go for Gold. If you guys are in, go ahead and comment if you've got Go for Gold, right? There are thousands of people that have taken Go for Gold. It actually, in my estimation, well, I'm not going to say it because I don't know if it's true. So I'm just going to leave that out. But anyway, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It has cranked numbers up like crazy. There's a link for it in the description of the video if you haven't taken it yet. It's over half off. I gave you the discount code to take over half off. It's cheap. It's cheap. But whenever you do it, your life will be forever changed. And you will be like, oh, I didn't know this could be so easy. And I'll be like, right, exactly. That's what I'm telling you. So whenever I created these systems, essentially we started as a team, we started implementing these systems, and people were coming in droves. There was 1 month where I signed up personally almost, if not over, I think it was almost 50 people. Just myself. And that was from an audience that was not primed for network marketing. So you could look at maybe like a leader in another network marketing company, and then if they switch companies, yeah, sometimes they scale fast because like people go with them or whatever, you know, like whatever it is. My audience hated network marketing. My audience, hated network. There's no other way to say it. They were like real business people and super skeptical, and they were not in it for network marketing. They didn't want to be in network marketing. And I think, guys, most of the world is in that boat. And not that they're right or wrong, it's their preconception. Right? We all of us have preconceived notions about businesses, types of businesses, blah, blah, blah. And it's typically because of worst case scenarios. It's typically because people have seen a worst case scenario and then they're like, oh, well, I'm not doing any of that, right? And that's just natural for people. So what I'm doing in Cutting Edge right now, if you're not in Cutting Edge, like what are you even doing? But what I'm doing in Cutting Edge right now is I'm actually walking people through how to bypass that altogether. But anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. You guys, like my head is like banging and my eyes are burning. I'm trying the best I can to stay focused here, but I'm just like this and this and this. And don't look out that window anymore, Martha. So whenever I started my systems and processes. I signed up almost, I think it was more, but almost 50 people just in 1 month alone. My people are signing up people hand over fist. We won it was Dream 1000. That's where that diffuser is from, is Dream 1000. We won, like, there were four or five of us on my team alone that got to go to Dream 1000 to Hawaii for Dream 1000. And that was from signups and from, you know, converting customers to builders and increasing PV and all sorts of, you know, like all of these different things that everybody wants to do. And really at the end of the day, what I had seen when I came into the company and I was starting to look at how to grow before I started creating my own systems and processes, when I came into the company, it was a lot of teaching classes, having people in your home. It was a lot of, you know, messaging, maybe hey girl, hey messages and that sort of thing. And I'm like, that ain't me. And then everybody kind of treats it like a numbers game. And they're like, well, yeah, you message a ton of people. And then maybe a couple of them are going to want to actually like do what you're talking about or whatever. And I'm like, but what about like the rest of them? What about like, okay, so say I message 100 people, say I'm with you on that, which I'm not, but like say I'm with you on that. And then 5 people sign up from that, which are terrible stats. I don't know, 5% is terrible stats, I'm just saying. But say 5 people sign up from 100 messages. My concern is less about these 5 people, but we're going to get to that in a second. My concern is more about the 95 people that I've now possibly destroyed relationship with. 95 people that maybe just think I look at them like a paycheck. 95 people that may at some point in their life really want to lean on me for something but feel like they can't because now they feel like I'm inauthentic. That's my concern. My concern is the broader picture. My concern is my relationships with people, and I'm not willing to sacrifice that, right? And now let's talk about the 5 that may work. The 5 that may work don't have loyalty. They're joining for an opportunity, and they're joining for money, and they're joining for whatever, but they don't have loyalty. They didn't come alongside me in mission. They're just looking for a handout, or they're looking for a fast break. And there's nothing wrong with that because people work in that space. But unless we mix fast break opportunity, unless we mix opportunity, you guys, with mission, I really think we've missed the whole point. And I think that our loyalty of our team is not going to be there. And even more than that, the sustainability. Everybody write down the word sustainability. The sustainability of your team isn't going to be there because they didn't start for the right reason. You know what I'm saying? We didn't start for the right reason. And so I looked at all of that stuff, and then I looked at, some trainers that were outside of Young Living too, and I was kind of just digging into everything, and I'm like, I just don't like this. I just won't do it. I see it's understandable what they're telling me to do. Do this, do that, do this, do that. Wash, rinse, repeat, right? I get the system. But like I said yesterday, unless it's a system everyone can do, then it ain't really a system. And a system that everyone can do is also included, not only that everybody has the ability to do it, but everybody also has the desire to do it and has the confidence to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that, you can't grow a good, sustainable team. And so that's when I looked at all of that stuff. I'm like, listen, I'm a business person. And if I'm looking at this and saying, I don't even want to do that, right? I do marketing and promo in my sleep, but I don't even want to do that. I don't want to look sketch. I don't want to look suspicious and make people feel weird about my intentions. It's like weird, right? And so whenever I thought that, I'm like, well, what that means to me is if I can't do it, my guess is upwards of 90% of the people that are trying to be successful in this business can't or won't do it. And so when I looked at that, immediately families started flooding into my mind. Families where mom is like, she got excited because she saw the potential of a business, but she didn't know how to do it. And then she feels like a failure. And then she feels like a failure in front of her family and in front of her kids. And then maybe she quit altogether. And oh my gosh, what does that mean about the rest of their life? What does that mean generationally? And I know this kind of sounds like I'm spiraling out, you guys, but it's not wrong. And what needs to happen, what really needs to happen, is that we need to be able to have systems and processes that we can do and that we want to do. And listen to this, that we thrive in doing and that feeds us, and that feeds our soul, and that feeds our spirit, and that we can just really feel God with us in doing things, and it doesn't feel skeezy and I'm going to do this and I'm going to suck it up for 15 minutes and then I'm going to pretend it didn't happen. That's not how we're designed, guys. So what I did is I had to create my own system, right? I had to create my own system that people like me, people that are nurturers at heart, people that live inside of the give bag, people that want to support other people, which you guys is most of Young Living. Most of us are here because we want to help. Tell me I'm wrong. Most of us are here because we want to help. In some capacity, we want to help. And so what I did with Go for Gold is I created a system around helping and not selling, but helping. And that's Go for Gold. And like I said, the link is in the description of the video if you want to try it out. If not, whatever. If you're wondering what cutting edge is where I'm literally walking you through Go for Gold. And I'm creating the things that Go for Gold teaches you about. Go for Gold teaches you the systems, the processes, all of that. And it's a do-it-yourself. You learn the systems and the process. That's why it's so cheap. It's like, at half off, it's like $67. It's not very much, okay? But that's why it's so inexpensive. It's because it's a do-it-yourself thing. And then also cutting edge is also inexpensive, except you have me creating the things for you. You have me converting your leads to new members. You have me creating challenges you can invite people to that then they convert into members of Young Living. You have me doing that for you. You have me training your new builders for their first 90 days with everything they need to know so you're not swamped with builders. Because there's another thing that happens is when you start bringing on a bunch of builders, you will self-paralyze. And the reason why is because you'll be like, now what do I do with them? I answer that for you. Cutting edge is me running it for you. You're not actually in my downline. I have to say that you're not actually in my downline. But it's like an extension virtually of my team. You're in my builder group. You're literally, you're on my stuff. You're in my stuff. You're just not actually in my downline. You stay where you're put. My goal is to be able to light up Young Living in all of its places. I want little explosions happening all over YL teams where it's just like, boof, explosion of growth, boof, explosion of growth. Because I think over the last couple of years, we've experienced enough depletion. Now it's time to grow back. Now it's time to explode. So I'm going to pop out of here. I need to go back in a dark room. My eyes are like, what? I love you guys. See you later.